What is the best part about being in a non-monogamous relationship or marriage?
The communication.
Yeah, the communication. It really feels like, like my best friend, and like we get to be like, oh my God, did you see that hot girl right there? Like, you know what my dream is? I would love to do this. You know what my fantasy is? Like this. And like, it would be like two dudes, talking about their thing. And, if your best friend is like, hey, I really want to like try and holler at this girl, are you going to be like, wow, I thought we were hanging out tonight? Or are you going to like be excited that your friend is going to have a pleasurable, fulfilling experience, even if you're not the one to give it to him? I was really looking for friends with benefits, and so I love that I've gotten
the model that I was raised on is the model you pointed out earlier, where you're supposed to have other chicks, and your wife or your girlfriend knows the least about you.
Yeah.
A woman's like ass isn't less fat because we're married now, Like I recognize, like we're still seeing reality as it is, and like we can still appreciate beauty, even if we don't have sex with the beautiful thing. Like I'm just able to appreciate beautiful things and enjoy it, share that appreciation, and not act on it. And if we do, like, I'm still able to be like, okay, cool, this is still a beautiful thing. This thing is not less beautiful.
Let me ask a question. I gotta ask a question. As like on some dude shit. So did you ever have any points where you had to resolve like how you felt about her, like sleeping with another dude or whatever?
Yeah. Earlier on, probably. Earlier on, we again, like we started off where it wasn't serious, and I'm having fun. I have a sexy female best friend who's also interested in the same. We like a lot of the same women and stuff like this. That's how I, and as I started to use the word love to describe our relationship, I had to square with, what it means. We go to a party, and she's open to things the same way that I'm open, and we talked about it. We're very communicative, and like one of the earlier things I came up with, whatever reason I was like, I don't want to see you get cummed on. And that's a conversation that most people will never have with their wife, right? In the traditional sense. But the way we were going, I just said, we were talking about boundaries. See, that's what's part of it, is like the ability to even have these.
Yeah, because that's where I was going.
So then we have this, and then I'm like, let me articulate it. And she said, she wanted to understand why, like deeper, because everything is actually a deeper thing. So
I wanted to know, do you mean you don't want to see someone coming on my body at all, on my face, in my mouth? Does that mean that you don't want to see it, like you're going to leave the room? Does it mean that you want me to tell them before, like, not to come on me? Like, there's a lot of things to flesh out actually on that request that I'm not sure, you've even thought about. And so I was able to like bounce that back to him to be like, can you clarify now what
my motivations were, what really bothers me about that, and what it was I came to realize was that we have, I was raised around a thing where like skeeting our chick is like disrespected that bitch, fuck her, you know what I mean? So I realized that I had some tension around the idea of some dude disrespecting her, even though that wouldn't be the case. And in fact, the people, we interact with people who are entirely of a different mindset of what I'm thinking of when we were younger, talking about sex and disrespecting women. It's an entirely different framework altogether.
And I asked you, I was like, when you come on my face or a girl's face, are you disrespecting them? Is that because you don't respect them?
You did ask me that, and it made me think about it. Like I hadn't thought about it that way.
It's disrespecting. I was disrespecting their ass. So,
if you don't mind me asking, do you not come on your your wife's face?
No.
So I see our marriage, our relationship as the safe space where we can do all the freakiest things.
I don't.
This person.
I don't.
Who?
I don't want to anymore. I could do anything with my wife that I wanted to. That's where we at. I just don't want to anymore.
So if you don't want to,
does she want me to?
Would you struggle with her. So like, I'll take it back to Billy. Like, if he was at a point where he doesn't want to come on someone's face, which trust me, he's not. Would that still then mean that like I can't have someone come on my face? You know, like,
That's a Billy question.
I know. Well, he's not even at that place yet. But
So yeah, it's so different based on like the individuals in the joint, and I think that's what I think was really cool about what you said. Communicating, like, is so important, and y'all got the framework.
Yeah.
But I do know that when I used to come on chicks' faces, I used to be engaged in some wild shit, spitting in motherfuckers' faces, like all role playing, dragging people by the hair, porn. Like I had a type of situation, but I was fucked up.
So I wonder, as you're on your healing journey, if you won't find that like some of the things that you found pleasurable, but like have since realized were like, oh, that's a symptom of my fucked upness.
Yeah.
What if you get back to a place where you're like, actually, I do kind of want to spit in your face, if that's something that you're into. Like, we have, lovers who are really into the idea of being like degraded and slapped.
Yeah. And for me, it's not even like for me, it's, I'm into some of that, but like for me, it's a performance. Like I have to bring it where they want that, and I'm with it. You know?
So because you love them and are concerned of their pleasure, you perform a thing that is not necessarily like something that would get you off, but like, all right, you want me to spit on you? All right, girl.
Overcorrection.
No, it was wrong.
Yeah. What if it's an overcorrection?
So again, because it's intention. What? So the question is, what was I turned off about with in that act? I had real
turn on
by in that act. I had real, when you hear these women say, I don't think men really like women, and they make these statements and those kinds of things. I had shit that was hearkening all the way back to some mommy shit that I had not addressed at all. But that was showing up primarily in my sexual escapades.
Yeah.
That's where it was showing up the absolute most.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand any of that when I started going through the process. So the fact that I'm aroused by demeaning a woman, I'm not aroused because I'm loving her. I'm not aroused like my connection in the situation with her, it transcends physical. And so the other stuff, if I could just see you and want to fuck you, and I care about you, but I'm not willing to invest in anything beyond what I can get from you in my position, that from my mind, that's like a usury kind of thing. So it was me being attracted to demeaning them and degrading them. I didn't, even though we would like go out and I respect them, we were cool and all that, there was something about what I was able to do in the bedroom with them.
Yeah.
That's
a real thing.
I think of it as it's a role play. You do like them. You actually do respect them. And
not necessarily.
In this,
he's got to know what's in his head, and I'm telling you, like, he's got to know what's in his head and what the intention is. And it can be a role play, or it can truly be an attempt to like get out something. Totally. I know dudes who do this, and you're mindful of this. This is a thing that women have to be kind of mindful of, because a lot of dudes, especially younger dudes, and the imagery reinforces that this is what sex is.
Yeah.
Totally. So I grew up with that. I grew up understanding like, okay, men like this, like it's a performance. When they do this, you go, ah, and like when you do this, you go that, and that's what it's about. I grew up trying to understand like, okay, this is how adults do it, and this is what and so I recognized that if I was gonna get any pleasure out of sex, it might help me to develop a bit of a humiliation fetish, so that I can still get some pleasure out of the act of someone else trying to degrade me. And that is actually a really creative way of navigating through a world in which I can't really control where you are on your journey. And so if you are doing it to like degrade and whatnot, that's on you. That's your thing. Everything you do is not actually about me at all. And everything I do is not about you. And
I think a lot of men don't realize the subtle ways that women adapt to our energy. When we come in like a wrecking ball, all this stuff.
Like, this is who I am.
But even especially sexually, the way like inflicting pain in sex as a some women really love that, and other women accept it or become adept at it.
And maybe they tolerated it and accepted it for so long that they like it now.
They begin to like it.
Yeah.
And so, but so intention again in all the directions, and we're all on these different journeys, and nobody, you know.
And particularly when we're taught that.
And can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
To point to what you're saying about like that, to not be flippant about sex. If you have time, this is where I think religion tells you gotta wait till marriage, whatever. There is value in understanding who you are and understanding who the other person is, so that when you're getting degraded or whatever is going on, you know that it's from that better place rather than you actually being in harm. You know, like a lot of shit is, you know, and you know this, dudes are manifesting all kinds of stuff in those arenas. So again, you know, just putting out there that earlier question about is there any virtue in waiting? It seems that there is value in understanding, getting a better picture of the energy that you're putting yourself into.
Yeah.